it a wave. Gareth is joined. Gareth is here.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing okay. You got a bottle of wine in front of you. It's Friday evening. It's 6 o'clock on the nose, so it's not a bad time to be alive at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Live. Lockdown's getting closer towards the end. We're going to get to return to pubs, cafes, restaurants, gyms, and more importantly, stick our children into daycare and get them out of our house, which is the most important thing that I find in my life that's going to happen. Howsoever, it is Friday Live. Joining me from Dublin 8 is my brother Gareth. Gareth, say hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. So this week we are talking about a couple of wines from Suzano Balbo, our Argentinian winemaker, really, really good winemaker that we've been working with for many years. There's a huge Argentinian contingent within Ireland. You can read more about that in history books, or you can talk to me in a pub at some point in time and I'll talk about it. But there's a very big Argentinian group of people and history within Westmeath, where we're from as well. Anyway, I digress. We'll kind of go into that at a later stage. First off, what we're going to be tasting, though, is the Crios Torrontés, which is white grape here. It's about 21,000 acres of this grown in Argentina, and it grows up to about 1,700 meters altitude from the sea. But this one being Suzano Balbo's Crios Torrontés. Gareth, do you want to talk a little bit about it? Tell me more?
Yeah, of course. Torrontés is basically a blended grape. It's between Muscat and Alexander and also Mission grape. It's got another name I cannot pronounce. That comes from northern Spain.
Never can.
Green northern Spain. And the big thing about that is it makes it actually quite aromatic. This is quite aromatic wine. If you ever had Muscat, not Muscadet, but Muscat, you'll actually see that it's actually quite an aromatic grape, and that's exactly what this has. This is tropical fruit, full of flavor, like really just bowling over to you. It's also called Crios by Suzano Balbo. Crios is basically the Argentinian or the Spanish sort of slang for kid, and this is actually named after her two children, Jose and Gavin. Help out. Anna, thank you very much, Anna. And but for someone who this basically their first label is also for the new generation, and but Torrontés grape. If you ever had New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc and looking for something really big, flowers. Hello, Colin, as well. Really big and floral. This is really something for you. And I think it also really goes brilliantly with curries or anything like a huge amount of massive spice.
Cool. No, it's absolutely fantastic. For me, I think it's one of the most amazing kind of grape varietals, and it was one of these ones that I didn't quite understand at the start, and I love now, and I sell a lot of because I really enjoy it myself. If you have any comments or if you have any questions while we're doing this, we will attempt to try and read them off the screen and talk to you, but please do ask some questions. Second one, if you want to move on, Gar, is that okay?
Yes, go. Yep.
Second wine we're going to deal with is from the Uca Valley, where the next two wines are Malbec and from the Uca Valley. It's the foothills of the Andes itself. It's actually quite well known for locally making, for growing pear, for growing almonds, for growing garlic, walnuts, this kind of thing. But it is a stunning area for making wine. So Ben Marco itself is a wine, as well as Malbec. Why is it different? And tell me a little bit more.
Okay, so this is good. I said Uca Valley's up higher. Because higher altitude, because if you say Mendoza is essentially in a rain cloud, the Andes are really high and there's no rain that comes into it. Malbec, of course, really being a grape that comes from southwest France, but when it's brought over to Argentina, it grows essentially in the desert. But as you go further, so it can get really, really, really big and alcoholic and really big and full bodied. But when you go up to the Uca Valley, which is quite a lot higher up, the higher up you get, the cooler the altitude. The cooler the temperatures, it doesn't get as burnt and doesn't get as alcoholic. So with this, still 14.5% alcohol. This is done by Ben Marco, who works for Suzano Balbo, and it's much more of a sort of like almost like a Rioja Reserva. It's actually a separate label altogether, and it is a really low intervention wine in that it's really he really wants the terroir and also the grapes to actually speak for themselves, and as a result, you get a real sort of rustic, gutsy. If you like Malbec, this is, as I said, this is like a Malbec Reserva, and it's just something absolutely fantastic to have. It is actually one of the few ones that I would have with lamb because it's not too powerful.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I've never actually even thought about that for lamb for myself, but and I love lamb, and my wife hates lamb, so my mother makes lamb for me and will cook steak for my wife. So I'm kind of, yes, definitely next time that we're doing that, that's on the list to do, if that's okay. Final one that we're talking about, though, is going to be the signature from Susana. Now, this itself was voted, I think, 2 years ago as being the most exciting wine in the world by Decanter magazine. Susana herself, as a winemaker, was the first female winemaker in Argentina, which came with its own difficulties, I would say. Yeah, sorry, as came with its own difficulties, but like, to be honest with you, I think it's something that has kind of formed, I would say, the character of the person, the legend that you hear of and that you get to meet, and then of course that then reflects itself within the wine personally. But anyway, I'm kind of waffling. So Garth, tell me a little bit more about this.
Just speak to that for a quick second, Gavin, as well. Nearly old, especially in her generation, a female winemaker was unheard of. In fact, she tried to get, even when she's making wines, it was really just like, there you go, love. She really was not, like, she really had to fight for respect. She almost had to work twice as hard to just get where she is now. And as Decanter said, she's one of the most forward-thinking winemakers in Argentina, full stop. And this is a signature wine. Which, do you want me to go into it there, Gav?
Yeah, but look, one of the things that I kind of found out about Susana, kind of talking to Jose, her son, you know, you kind of try to find out the essence of the person behind the wine itself and who made this. Her path and trajectory to becoming a winemaker wasn't, you know, straight away into college and I'm going to go into winemaking. What she wanted to be with the nuclear physicist, you know, and this is kind of what we see quite a lot with winemakers that we deal with, when they make wine out from terroir and not kind of in some sort of confined chemistry experiment, that they happen to be making wine because they are scientists at heart and they want to apply that kind of thinking towards winemaking, and it's a stunning thing to do. But I have a huge amount of respect for her, for what she does and for the wine itself. And what she kind of says about this is that wine herself is the culmination of her thoughts. This wine is the true culmination of all of her blood, sweat, tears, thinking, thoughts, and passion. So for me, it's above everything.
And so this wine itself, again, Mendoza itself being very warm, almost in a rain shadow. So what you have is this is the furthest up the mountain that they can go, and also the furthest south. You're in southern hemisphere, so north and south. So the furthest south you go, the colder you get. It's a different type of Malbec where the actual skin is actually quite thick, and as a result, it can actually deal with the harshness of the conditions. Susana also learned her winemaking a lot through Bordeaux, so it has 8% Cabernet Franc in this. It also is in French barrels for 13 months, but it's a little bit different to actually Malbec that you go, because it's actually just pure cassis, just in the middle, and it actually has a bit of elegance and everything else. When you're talking about this, for example, the Ben Marco Malbec, this is like a Malbec Reserva. You know exactly what you're going to get. It is rustic, it's from the land and everything else. This, there's almost a bit more of the personality of the winemaker, which is sort of elegance to it as well. I think it's for me, this is actually one you can drink by itself, which a lot of Malbecs I can't. But this is special, a real just special one, and it's in our case at the moment. That's out there. And just to speak to it just very quickly, I know that Gavin managed to get us a deal on that because everything's stopped at this moment in time for Argentina, all winemakers out there. That's why it's really important when you're buying them. You're buying independent winemakers. You are actually giving money back to communities and back to families. Yeah. And they actually said they were order waiting for us and actually offered us a deal in order to get it across. So net result is that's the reason why this case of wine can be €100 is because and again, this is money going straight back to families, to independent winemakers, so they can go back and make some more gorgeous wines as well.
Exactly. No, it's absolutely kind of fantastic wine, and we're really happy to work with them. And we hope at some stage to have Jose, Susana's son, come on to this and have a bit of a chat and a tasting with us. But that's kind of our kind of future plans. As I said, these wines are available by themselves, but also part of the case of the deal this week. Hope you enjoy it. Guys, between now and next week, we're going to have a couple of restaurants open. I hope you go out, support your local restaurant, have some great time, and if you want to maybe kind of ask us any questions, please direct message us on Instagram or through our Facebook channels as well. And we're really looking forward to talking to you.
We are going to change our times, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to change our time, so we're going to be looking at Thursday evening slot at 8 p.m. is our plan, and how we kind of do that in a little bit of a change of format as well. But all will be revealed and publicised
And
heavily
winemakers,
on social media.
lots of winemakers.
Yes, lots of winemakers, lots and lots of winemakers will be joining us as we do this. But we're really looking forward to kind of the new format. We're looking forward to life returning to a little bit of sense of normality. Okay, Garth, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is me. This is how I currently look. Anyway, and Gareth.
Yeah, less said about that, the better. But thank you, Gavin.
Indeed. Hang on there 1 second. Recommendations for wine to go with barbecue, cheeseburger. To be honest with you, actually, the Ben Marco that is here would be fantastic with it. You do want something with a spice there. Also, what is what's on our list, you want to go away from that, the likes of the Tbilk Shiraz, which we have from Australia. Really, really absolutely fantastic to have with burger. What you want is something that's going to cut into that crease. If anybody lives in Mullingar, honestly, if you go to John Daly, they have the best burgers at the moment that are going for takeaway. And that goes really well with Ben Marco because I had it last week.
I just be different. I go with Lortus because the cheeseburger is going to have a bit of like texture to it, a bit of like creaminess to it, and so yeah. That's what I say. I go with Bergie de Lortus from the South of France Pixel.
Okay, good. Yeah, you can have your own opinion. Yeah, no, you can't listen to that. Cool. Okay, so that is about the end of what we have to do, what we're going to talk about this evening. We'll see you again next week, guys. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you've had fun. Garth, take it easy. Bye-bye.